players. How you feel it went for you?
Just can you repeat that again?
Just how do you think the first couple days went for you?
I think it went well. It's a bit of adjusting period coming from college and learning like my coach's philosophies and having to learn a new coach's philosophy. I mean, it's always a challenge, but it's not a challenge that it's not a challenge that I'm not too small for. It's been pretty good so far, and I'm handling it pretty well.
Looked like they gave you a little bit of time at guard too. What was that like playing inside a little bit? I know you were mostly attacked by Finley.
It felt good playing at guard. Everything happened so fast, but I feel like the same thing as tackle. It's just everything's just right there in front of you, and obviously going against a bigger guy. I think my speed and length at guard kind of helps me a little bit, and I didn't really have too much trouble just getting adjusted to it.
What was the biggest difference you see making the D2 jump up to even practice like this, and the speed difference, and kind of how to adjust to this level?
I would say it's not really too much of a speed difference. It's just guys are more disciplined, I would say. D2 kind of guys kind of fall out and do things that aren't characteristic. But when you're playing against better competition, obviously they're bigger, but they're just more disciplined. I mean, they lift the same weights as we lift at D2, so everybody's strong. It's just attention to detail is a little bit more different.
What's just sort of this whole week been like for you? You get drafted, I think it was last Saturday you got drafted, and now you're here, having gone through a couple of NFL practices and all that. But just kind of, I guess that whole week, just kind of what's it been like for you?
At first, when I got drafted, the whole 2 or 3 days, like my phone was just not stop ringing for like 4 days, and I just had to put it on Do Not Disturb, and it was a little bit overwhelming. I kind of get like sometimes like social anxiety from my phone ringing too much, but like once it calmed down, it's been good. And then getting up here, it just felt like home, like just soaking it all in. Like I can't believe I'm really here in Seattle, I'm a Seahawk now, so. Yeah.
You talked about this a little bit last week, but just how much pride do you take representing Finley and with Division II guys? That there aren't a lot of D2 guys that make that leap.
Oh, a lot. One day I might get Finley tatted on me, but I'm proud where I came from. I wouldn't trade my experience for the world. I'm glad the coaches and the players and the teachers and the students that I met at the school, I wouldn't trade my experience for the world. I'm glad I went to Finley, and I would do it all over again if I could.
Getting the invite to Ohio State Pro Day, how did that all come about?
My former coach, Robert Keys, he's a quality control coach for the special teams at Ohio State. So when he had left, and my head coach had reached out to him and said, "Hey, can we get Mike into the Ohio State Pro Day?" Their strength coach was like, "Yeah, let's get him in." So that's how I went from there, and yeah.
How far away is that? Where you at? Where
like an hour and 30 from Finley, and it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes from Indianapolis.
Anything else?
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.